Hi everyone, welcome to Now I See on CYC. I'm Anna Choi. Now I See is a dedicated program that opens the lives and insights of those that have become Christian. Today our guest would be Stephen Sutiono. Welcome Stephen.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to be here.
So Stephen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Stephen Sutiono. I am 16 years old, currently doing psychology at the University of New South Wales. And last year, around August, I converted to Orthodox Christianity with the Copts. And before that, I was a Catholic who fell into a little bit of disbelief and a little bit of agnosticism, not sure where I stood with God and Christ. And so I came to really lose my faith around the early parts of my life, and I wanted to sit myself down and really look at what Christianity was all about. We all know the Bible, but that really is it's barely the surface of Christianity and what it all is about. And so I wanted to look into it more. This is a very serious decision to believe in God or not believe in God. It affects our lives, and so it's a very important decision that has to take in everything. And so I want to look beyond the Bible and look at the church's history. And I wanted to learn more about the other denominations and explore Christ more thoroughly. And eventually, I came to prepare myself for believing again and in God.
So what was that journey like moving towards Christianity?
It's not the easiest decision in the world, obviously. It's not exactly, do I want to eat cake today or not? But the journey, it's been pretty amazing. The people who have brought me here, I can't thank them enough for really enlightening this part of my life.
Were you hesitant on your journey?
Well, I'd have to say I would definitely be lying if I said I wasn't hesitant throughout the entire journey. It's, like I said before, it's not the easiest decision that you can make in this life. I would say it's one of the more harder ones. Because it changes so much in your life, how you behave, how you act, your whole ideology just changes with it. And so, how do you really approach this? It's such a gigantic idea. The belief in God, the belief in Christ, it's not exactly one that you have just sit down and think about. It takes months and weeks. But through my study of the ancient church, theology, I was sawn through that journey.
Yep. And how did you approach it? Like you saying you were studying theology. Were you studying theology with someone or?
I didn't even know that theology was even a thing until I was introduced to it by the Copts. One of my teachers in school was a Coptic priest, and he taught us, one day he told me to come to his class for religious study. And so I went in, not really knowing what to expect. And he talked about theology and these deep concepts about God and Christ, the Trinity, things that the Bible don't scratch. These are very old Christian concepts, and it's really the logic that holds up Christianity. And I gained a very good appreciation of theology. And with this understanding, I came to understand Christ more. I came to know him better. And it worked up my courage to approach him again.
So you just kept on attending these lessons with him, and eventually you came to the Coptic church?
Yes, that's right.
That's right. So what have your experiences been like in the Coptic church?
My experiences in the Coptic church, well, they've always been good. I haven't had a negative experience in the Coptic church. I went to a Coptic school, actually. That's why the priest was there and why we had these lessons. And being exposed to the Coptic Christians really was an eye-opener because the Copts aren't what we'd normally associate in the West. When we think of Christianity in the West, we normally think of Catholics and Protestants, and that's the very general idea of what Christianity is there. But to the Copts, it's something completely different. There was this refreshing amount of just piety, humility, and faith. It was like I had discovered Christianity again, even though I was Catholic at the time.
Oh, wow. So what were your first impressions of the Coptic Church?
So my first impression of the Coptic Church, well, I went to one of their liturgies in year 7 because I was a part of their high school. And going in, I didn't really know what to expect. And I was definitely surprised. A lot of culture shock, to be sure, because their liturgies aren't what we would associate in the Western world. They're 2 hours long, they're full of tradition, full of incense, and it's very strange initially. I didn't know what to think all those years ago. But as the years went on and we continued to go to liturgies on occasion, I learned to grow an appreciation for it, and I noticed like the reverie and just the way in which people around me would worship Christ. That really altered my experiences and my perceptions towards God.
So how did you think that going to the Coptic school affected your decisions?
Yeah, without going to the Coptic school, I wouldn't have a new perspective on who Christ was and the way in which it affected other people's lives. So for the Copts, around me I saw people who were very reverent, and it was just so refreshing and new. I hadn't seen that level of devotion in my experiences before. And so seeing this new perspective made me ask more questions related to my spirituality, because at the time I was in decline, spiritually speaking. I didn't really think of God. I didn't really pray that seriously beforehand. And looking at this new perspective, I had to ask myself the question, okay, who is God? And how do I get to know this God? And without having that perspective, I may have continued in this spiritual decline. And so what the Copts did was really refresh my understanding. They renewed Christianity in me. They made me ask questions about my faith, and those questions have led me to where I am today.
And how has this affected your life in general?
Has affected my life in general? Do you mean after my conversion?
Yeah.
So after my conversion, I've been noticeably happier as a person. My outlook towards life as a whole has been a lot more optimistic. I've been able to sympathize with people more about their situations, about their lives, a lot more, and I think that has to do, I know it has a lot more to do with Christ.
Unfortunately, we have run out of time today, but thank you so much for coming in. Please tune in to our next episode of Now I See on CYC. Until then, I'm Anna Choi. God bless.